The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Culture of Kings
Word.
is, I guess, you know, particularly the first one, is seen as like the Australian hip hop compilation. And I imagine there was possibly some compilations before that. But there was a mixtape called The Formula
Yeah, word.
before Culture of Kings 1.
I believe so, yeah.
So tell us a little bit.
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Tell us a little bit about that mixtape.
Actually, I'm assuming it was. When did Culture of Kings come out?
I think early 2000s.
Yeah.
2001, 2002, but don't quote
Yeah, it would have
me.
been probably 2001-ish, I reckon, because But the formula itself, I think it came out just before, or maybe a year or so before. Now, the formula itself was a radio show, hip-hop show in Melbourne that carried on from Steppin to the AM. So Chrissy had Steppin to the AM, and Stewie and Bias had the formula. And yeah, I mean, it kind of took off where Steppin to the AM left off, I guess, and those things were both institutions. I guess it depends on who you speak to and what generation they came from. You know, when I was an avid, I mean, I'm still a fan first, I can honestly tell you that, but when I was just a fan and just writing my little raps at home, Steppin to the AM was everything to me. When the formula came out, I was probably getting more entrenched in the scene. Although I still listened, I was probably in there more, or I was out more doing shit, you know what I mean? But that next generation of guys 5 years younger than me, I call that a generation, call it what you will, but you know, that was their Steppin to the AM, and yeah, they basically, it just mirrored what Steppin to the AM did with the next leg of guys coming through, and yeah, it was basically a spot for most local MCs or touring MCs or whatever to come in and have the opportunity to flex, you know, live sort of thing. So that was a real pivotal part to Melbourne Hip Hop, as was Steppin to the AM. And I guess as, you know, when Steppin to the AM was live, you had this crew and that crew and these guys and them guys in there. But by the time the formula kicked off, the scene had obviously grown, and there was hundreds more MCs. So it was harder to get a Guernsey in there, and you had to fight for a spot. And when you went in, you had to, it wasn't just kind of like showcasing I'm here, you knew you had competition as well. So that was cool, man, and that saw a lot of, that was kind of the birthplace for a lot of guys that came through, really. And yeah, we went up there enough times as well, which was cool. Always a good spot, you know. It was chill, you know. Stewie super chill. Bias was well entrenched in the scene by then, and you could just go up there and have a few beers and jump on the mic and cypher and freestyle and do whatever the fuck you wanted. It was cool. It was also the scene of some cool battles as well. But yeah, obviously they had the luxury come time to put out some form of physical. And they said, let's chuck a tape with the best of the best, or what they deemed to be the best of the best, or whatever at that point. And yeah, they put together a really cool little tape. So yeah, it did what it did. And I think it's really hard to get now. Dudes are probably paying big dollars for it on the bay and shit like that. But yeah, that was cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how much Australian hip hop stuff is going for on the internet now. Hey.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, it's out of control.
What's one of your EPs going for, like that you've seen?
I don't know. I've seen them go for like $700-800 in the past. I think it's chilled out a little bit now. So that, to me, that's crazy, man. Like, you know, I got shit on my want list from the States that like goes for a G, and it's just like, unless I stumble across it for an affordable price, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? I don't know how dudes, you know, I mean, you've got to love a fucking record a lot to pay $1,000 for it. Like, I don't know. That shit's crazy to me. But you know, good luck to people if that's what they do, then that's what they do. You know, so I'm not going to sort of tell them not to. They might deem my expenses a waste of money. You know, but yeah, it is crazy though. It's crazy what that shit goes for now, and the local stuff. Where I mean, the funny thing is that you date back to sheer talent and amateurs. where it was a case of, you know, we sold them super cheap to stores, $5, $10. The store sold them for 15 or whatever they were. Then now one of those has gone for $800. You know what I mean? Like, I did my balls on it financially when I put it out. Some motherfuckers made $760 on it just by selling it on eBay. I didn't make that over the course of either one of those projects, you know what I mean? So that's kind of crazy. But the other weird thing is I remember when the vinyl shit went dead. So I remember when we did Murderous Metaphors and we just got lumped with a stack, you know, and I was giving them away. I just gave that shit away. And now I see a Murderous Metaphors will go for $100. And I gave away 200, you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of crazy how that shit goes up and down, and I'm sure it'll happen again, you know.
What's your take on, I guess, vinyl, Australian hip hop vinyl now, in terms of, you know, dudes buying up, waiting till it's sold out, and then flipping it for 3, 4, 5 times the value? Yeah,
oh man, look, as a label and a distributor, it's something that I've seen sort of both sides of, and we tried to, depending on the nature of the release, we sort of try to limit that happening. At the same time, it doesn't stop guys doing it. If they can and they want to do it and they want to run the risk on it or whatever, and they've got the means to buy that many copies, then there's nothing you can really do to stop it. I mean, we've put limits on stuff online if they're really limited, because I remember when For the Term came out, guys were buying up 5, 10 copies, and I think I did 300 to start with, and they just went in 10 minutes. You know, it was just like, and then they were going to Clinic 116, or they were going to fucking wherever and lining up on drop day, you know, the next day, and because the store's about to open, and buying 5 more and shit like that. So, you know, I ended up kind of combating that by doing like a limited rerun without a cover. And so we had the gatefold on the original. So I just dropped a black cover with a sticker, just because I had 100 people hit me up and say, man, I missed out. If you ever repress it, let me know. You know, and it was, and like, I'm not paying $300 tomorrow for it. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But it is crazy, man. It's crazy that dudes are willing to do that, and you know, but. Again, if that's how they want to do it, run the risk, then do it, you know.
Surely it's got to come to a, if it hasn't already, got to come to a peak soon, because I see shit going for ridiculous prices. That's not necessarily even that old.
Yeah.
You know, shit that might have come out 6, 7 years ago and is now going for hundreds of dollars. Like the Hood's, I mean, that's a bit older, but the Hood's first record that got pressed on wax, what was that? Was it Back Once Again?
Back Once Again, yeah.
And they have
the green
They
copy?
have the marble green.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think they might have a couple other colours or some shit.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to someone a long time ago. They said that they sold a couple copies at $900 a piece. Now that would have been, when they did that, that would have been 2005-ish.
Wow.
I've been told that shit's online now for like over a G, easy, like close to 2G. I think I heard someone say that they either sold it or bought it for 222.
Wow.
And I'm just thinking,
I gave a copy of that to Rob Knapp, man. I had dubs and I just said, here, you can have one, man. Like, what a fucking idiot.
Has he still got it?
I don't know, man. No, he probably sold it for $2,000.
Yeah, the dude that I spoke to is probably the dude.
Yeah. I bought one for 2,200, man. It's fucking sweet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
The lesson. Oh, yeah.